Streaming can be as cheap as you want it to be or as expensive as you want it to be. There's really no limit. It's how long is a piece of string. Let's talk about a few things that you should maybe be thinking about investing some of your money into and your time into for your stream. If you missed my How to Grow on Twitch video for 2021, please do check it out. It's somewhere on the screen. I've never had to do this before, so I'm trusting I'm pointing at the right place. All right, so you've been streaming for a while. You're enjoying it, you're having yourself a good bit of fun, you're making some friends, you're gaining a bit of a following, and really, you're feeling great, but you're unsure of what you should be changing. I feel like streamers are like this. When they start streaming and they start doing a bit well, they want to buy everything, right? And they need a fucking $5,000 camera or a huge microphone or whatever. But there is some things that you can't really skip out on if you really do want to take streaming that little bit more seriously. If you're happy with your stream and how it looks, you don't need to spend any money. This video will be going over budget things, cheaper things that you should think about investing in, and things you shouldn't invest in for your stream. Bear in mind that this is aimed at people who possibly want to grow their stream into something more than just a fun hobby. If you're happy with not having the coolest logo under the sun or having a pretty average stream quality, that's perfectly fine. But if you're someone who's into your tech and someone who's into maybe polishing off little certain aspects of your stream, then definitely watch to the end because there's some great tips here. First thing I always like to talk about is the design of your channel. I feel like this is something that you can go really, really, really right with or really, really wrong with. Good design on your channel doesn't necessarily mean like a crazy animated webcam frame and insane over-the-top alerts or animations or transitions between your scenes. It just means something cool for you and your community to look at and enjoy. It also gives your audience like a sense of kind of community with your stream as well. They've got a logo, a banner, a flag to fly if they want to wear it on merch. They know your brand. They can identify with it. It's like, why do people wear any logos on shirts? Because they like that brand, right? Your stream should be no different. You should have a concurrent, strong brand to your stream. And it is, in my opinion, so worthwhile investing in a bit of design for your channel. Now, bear in mind, when I use the word invest, I'm not always talking about money. I could be talking about time. You might have the ability to design your own logos or artwork or whatever for your channel. But if you have that ability, it is worth investing that time. If you don't, then you can get this pretty cheap. When I really started taking streaming seriously, I found a designer on Fiverr whose stuff I liked, and I went from there. I talked with them about my ideas and what I wanted to convey in my brand, and they put it together for me. Now look, Fiverr, I know people like it, some people don't like it, but I personally got a pretty good deal out of it, and I was happy with what I got. If you have a friend who's a graphic designer, fantastic. Maybe they'll be willing to help you out. Let's say you're going the paying a designer / person on Fiverr route. Don't just go for the cheapest one you can see. If you type Twitch design into Fiverr, you will see thousands of people willing to do this, ranging all the way from like $4 up to $4,000. You get what you pay for in terms of creative things like design, video making, whatever. Obviously, if you pay someone $5, you're not going to get the same level of quality as someone who's charging triple, quadruple, 10x times that, whatever. But you might get something that you're pretty happy with, or something that maybe you can afford now, and then later down the line, if you're earning a bit more money or you're willing to put more money into your brand, you could maybe take that as a starting point and then further design it, which is what I'm doing right now. I think when I first started streaming and when I first paid for my branding, I think I paid like $40 for a logo, some panels, and like some starting soon screens, BRB screens, whatever. And turns out I was actually really, really happy with what I got. And I've used that design for close to a year now. If you invest a little bit of money into your design, it makes your channel stand out a little bit more than somebody who just say you go on their channel and you get that there's nothing here at the bottom of their Twitch stream. Because let's say, for example, somebody even stumbles across your channel from like a clip or a video. If they go and check out your channel, they're way more likely to give you that follow if they can see there's a little bit of effort gone into the look and feel of the channel. Work on a brand. Think about what you want from that brand. Think about what you want from that logo, that design, and make it all fit together. If at any point you have 90% of your screen taken up by design elements fucking all around, subs, bits, donos, if you get to that stage, you've gone too far, dial it back, you don't need it. One thing that can seriously boost your stream's quality is lighting. This is something I could probably make an entire video on, but for the sake of time, I'll just give you guys the basics. Lesson number 1 in lighting. If you use a green screen, you need lights, and you need good, bright lights, okay? Look, I'm not going to get into the science of lighting and the specifics because, you know, my lighting isn't anything special. You can see me, I'm clear, I'm not overexposed. That's fine. If you do use a green screen, there is a lot of stuff that you need to realize before you do it. If you're at any point pixelated or your face is like half transparent from your green screen, it means your settings and your lighting is not correct. Now, those lights do not need to be crazy expensive. You can get some pretty budget alternatives on Amazon. If you look up like LED lighting or whatever, you can find an array of lights that work for you. For example, until very recently, I used these lights. I use 2 of these bad boys. They are cheap as they come. Newer LED photo lights. But you know what? They were $20 and they worked. They've got like a dial on them. These were perfect. I used to stream with a green screen and these were absolutely perfect. I used to have people come in my stream all the time and be like, hey dude, like, how do you light your green screen? How did you get the setting? What settings do you use? And I was like, I don't use settings. I use these. Lighting first, fuck around with the settings secondly. Even if you don't use a green screen, these work really, really well. They were $20. Are they the best lights in the world? Absolutely not. But if you stream in a dark room, maybe you don't have any natural light coming into the room. Something like this, you can get a pretty good result from them. If you're deciding to use a face cam, you have to be able to be seen. I see a lot of people who stream in these really dark rooms and they're being lit by nothing bar their computer monitor, and it doesn't really look good. But if you don't have natural light in the room and you want to be seen, you don't want a lot of grain or noise on your image, you might want to look at investing in some sort of lighting. Maybe look into something like, you know, just a light to throw behind you, just to give the room a bit of light as well. These lights behind me, these little LED lights that everyone has, you've seen them 1,000 times. They were like $10 on Amazon. And I think they do a lot. Like, they separate me from the background. Like, this is a pretty bland room. Like, I've got some acoustic panels behind me and, you know, just some stuff on the walls, whatever. My fucking coat's on the door. Thank you for whoever pointed that out in the comment section of my last video. Let me give you an example. Let me show you what this room looks like with just natural light versus what it looks like, okay? So if I was to turn off these lights, I was to turn off my stream lights, now you get this. This isn't very visually appealing, right? I don't really want to see that. No one can see you. The reason you're using a face cam is not because you have to use a face cam on Twitch, it's because you want people to see you. That's 2 simple things. You know, if you spent $20 on some USB lights, like the ones I showed earlier, and $10 on some lights to put behind you, look how much you can change a room. If you want to use a face cam, look at changing the room up a little bit in terms of lighting. All right, let's talk microphones. Question I probably get asked more than anything on my stream, apart from why are you so bad, is what mic am I using? I'm using a Shure SM7B. You've probably seen it. A lot of people use them. Do I need a Shure SM7B? Not really. Does anyone need a Shure SM7B? I mean, the argument can be made. If you've got your good design, you're happy with how your camera looks, you should maybe think about your audio. Audio is pretty important. We've all heard it. You all know what I'm about to say. We've all heard that streamer who's using either the shit mic they bought on Wish or the cracked headset they've had since they were 10 years old. And it does not sound good. If at any point you can hear an insane buzzing from your microphone, you need to change something. If at any point your microphone, you need to change something. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go out and spend hundreds. The reason I own this mic is because in my day job, I work for a podcasting studio and I can borrow this from work. That's fine. If I didn't have that, would I have paid the money for this microphone? Not at my current level. You can get some very, very, very sick budget microphones. For example, for the first 7 months of my stream, I used a USB microphone called the HyperX Quadcast. And it was great. You can make a microphone sound 10 times its value within Streamlabs alone using their free stock effects or plugins, like EQ or compression or even a noise gate. If you don't want people to hear your mouse clicks or your keyboard clicks, something like a noise gate can cut out all of that noise. If you have a fan on in your room, if your washing machine is on, noise gates will cut out all of that. And they're super easy to use. You just check them out within Streamlabs, add a noise gate, and mess around with the settings until you find something that is cutting out that unwanted noise. Similarly with equalization, you can make your voice sound a little bit deeper, a little bit higher. You can cut out certain parts of your voice. Compressor, if you shout a lot in your stream, you need a compressor. It pulls everything back down and it stops your mic from clipping. You add all that to a 50, 60, 70 buck USB mic, you can get some really, really, really good results. If you want to go above and beyond, you could look at an XLR microphone, right? You can get a pretty cheap XLR setup for about, I would say, just over $100 all in. If you want to use an XLR mic, something like this, you have to use what's called an audio interface or a sound card or whatever you want to call it, like a unit that plugs into your computer via USB, and you're able to plug in an XLR mic. XLR is a type of connection It's this type of connection. It doesn't plug into a computer without something like an audio interface. So you need to pick up an audio interface before you can use a mic like this. Like anything, you can spend 50 bucks on an audio interface. You can spend 500 bucks on an audio interface. Research this stuff before you buy it. If you do decide, no, if I'm a streamer, I'm gonna have the best of the best gear. I'm gonna have an XLR microphone, all that stuff. Research it first. So like that, if you find that maybe you do a lot with your voice, or maybe you do some stuff that requires, a little bit cleaner audio, maybe look into purchasing a better microphone for yourself. This all kind of relates back to what people think they need when they're streaming, okay? Do you have to buy this exact thing just because another streamer uses it? Absolutely not. Most USB microphones come with a little stand on your table. I don't know why people use these or feel like they have to buy a boom arm for their microphone. My friends have talked to me before who have had good microphones, like, hey dude, I ordered a boom arm. But I'm like, why did you order a boom arm? Like, you were giving out last week that you can't afford this game that you want to stream, so why buy a boom arm? Is that really the best use of your funds? Yes, it's handy. If it's in my way, I can move it around and it doesn't make a lot of noise. It is handy. Is it essential? Absolutely not. You could go out and buy a 10 buck mic stand that I could put here and it would do the exact same job. You have to keep asking yourself, is this essential? Is this purchase actually going to boost the quality of my stream? Because I feel like a lot of people are like, my stream isn't doing too great these days, but if I buy this one thing, I'll go from 2 viewers to 200 viewers. I know it. Like, nothing that you buy, no gear that you buy, I would make the argument, is going to really affect your viewership. But like that, there's certain things that can make life easier for you. Like this boom arm makes my life easier. If I broke it today, would I not be able to stream? No, I would be totally fine. I would just use a different mic stand. Or if I had to, I'd put the mic just lying on the table. What the point I'm making is I don't need these things. And you guys also don't need them as well. They're just nice to have. So think about that when you're breaking down your kind of budget for your stream. Break it down into needs and wants. Yeah, you just broke your monitor. So you need a monitor to stream. You have no internet. You need internet, okay? See what I'm getting at here? Needs, wants. For a long time, I used a Sony a6500. Great camera. Do you need one? Absolutely not. If you want to go that step above webcam, you really want to invest into your stream, check out something like the Sony ZV-1, which I'm filming this video on right now. Absolutely unbelievable camera I got it for under 600 bucks. It's great. It lasts all day. You don't need to buy an external battery for it. It plugs in via USB. It's fantastic. That is the option. Maybe if you want to go a little bit above the webcam, if you've got your webcam and you find it's not cutting it, maybe you want to do some zooms or you want to do some things that you just can't achieve with webcam quality, check out something like the Sony ZV-1. Down the road, when that isn't working for you, maybe you can look into something like the Sony a7S III, which is like a $3,000 camera that everybody uses. The point I keep going back to is establish whether you need this. Don't think that when you start streaming, you have to spend money on what all the big streamers have. They have those things because they can more than afford them. Doesn't mean that that's what you need to gain success. They gain success with very, very minimal equipment, and so can you. Most importantly, the first rule of investing, be it financially or whatever, only put in what you can afford to lose. If you're down to your last 100 bucks for the month or whatever, maybe don't go and buy a new webcam. Maybe don't go and spend it on your stream and put that gamble that you're going to make back that 100 bucks 10 times over. You got to look at your finances here and figure out what you can afford to put into your stream. Don't buy stuff that you cannot afford, all right? And this brings me to the most important thing that you should invest into your stream is time. You have to give these things time. By you watching this video right now, you're investing time into your stream. By you going live, you are investing time. But you also, as I said, shouldn't put in what you can afford to lose. Do not burn yourself out on this stuff. Don't feel that if you want this to happen for you, that you have to spend every waking minute of every day online, tweeting, talking in other streams, spamming social media. You don't. You'll drive yourself crazy. You need to look after you, and you need to look after number one. And by spending all your time on your stream, it'll do nothing but maybe just make you annoyed. You should spend time. You should invest time for being on social media, being active in other communities, being involved in Twitch as a whole. You should invest that time. You have to be active. You have to keep healthy. And you have to, you know, spend time with your family, your loved ones, your partners, whatever, you know, and by spending all your time and investing all your time into this, that to me is a bad investment. You should only put in what you can afford to lose. You don't want to look back in a year's time or 2 years' time and say, damn, I wish I spent more time with my parents, or damn, I wish I spent more time on my schoolwork or whatever. You know, you have to be tactical and be wise. The best thing I can advise you guys to do with this is look at your stream. Make a list of everything that you're happy with. Then make a list of everything that you can improve on in terms of equipment or things you might have to purchase, and prioritize that list and then work towards it. And it will be extremely gratifying when you get that money together and you go, right, I've managed to get this. I've paid my bills. I've done whatever I needed to do. I've fed myself for the week. Now I'm going to go get those things and I can afford them and it's not going to damage me. And soon you'll be able to take that list off, you know? Hopefully you can make that money from streaming. Maybe you can, maybe not. Maybe you have a job on the side, but save up, you know, and it's gratifying when you can, you know, make that purchase knowing that you've worked for it and knowing that it's the right move for you. I'm going to wrap this up by reiterating something I've said. Nothing that you purchase for your stream that I've mentioned here is going to boost your viewers, all right? Might make things easier for your viewers, but it's not going to just automatically make your channel blow up. But you just got to keep putting in that work. You got to keep trying and trying different things. Something's not working, don't keep trying that thing. If you're not enjoying it, it's not working for you, or it's not working for your stream, change it up. But don't think that just by purchasing stuff and spending loads of money that it will help you grow. You will grow. If you do it right, you will get there. There will come a time, hopefully, when if you want something for your stream, you can just go get it. But until then, you just got to keep trying, keep streaming, have fun, and look after yourselves. I hope you all are safe. Thank you to everybody who watched my last video and commented on it. Your feedback was just so amazing. I try to reply to everybody. If you have anything you'd like to know about Twitch, or an idea for a video, or something you need to learn more about, leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. It's great to hear other people's opinions. I want to be making the content that other streamers want to hear. And I mean, I want to say it as well. Like, I'm not some sort of huge big shot on Twitch. I myself am a small streamer. I think a lot of people had that idea that I thought that I was some sort of powerhouse on the internet. I'm not. I'm probably still where you are, if not smaller. But I do feel like I've learned a few things that have helped me a lot, and I wanted to share that information because it's all about helping each other. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It means the absolute world to me. We just hit 500 subscribers. If you want to be a huge legend, you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/x2shoes. Link is here. And I hope you all have an amazing time streaming, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.